All right, all right, all right. We're on. What's up, Nicholas?
Not much. How you doing?
Good, good. Man, here's an episode we've been waiting a long time for, haven't we?
It's been a long time in the process for sure.
Yeah. So hey, I know we started this ag, the ag fence best practices guide. God, it must have been going on a year and a half or more now, right?
Yeah, it's got to be close to 2 years, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. And we got it a little bit further along, but I think we're ready to start adding some pages to it. And I know some people got to see it. And so let's tell everybody a little bit about you, though. By the way, Nicholas, you're one of the main people that helped me work on this best practices for ag fence for a while here. But I don't think a lot of people that are watching may not even know your background. So you're the owner of Mountain M Fencing. Oh, can you hear us?
I lost you for a second. Yeah, I lost you like the last bit for your question.
Oh. So we want to tell everybody a little bit about yourself. Mountain M Fencing, right?
Yeah, I run an ag fencing company out here in Prineville, Oregon.
Prineville, nice.
I've had my company for about 8 years.
Yeah. So what got you into the ag? I mean, I know a lot of people don't realize that ag fencing is really not the same. And I think, even at my end, I used to think it was just residential fencing. But when you say residential fencing to an ag guy, they're like, no, I don't do residential fence. It's and it's not at all the same as our residential fences.
No, it's very different.
Yeah.
Very different.
Yeah. A lot more.
I got into it just because I was about it. I don't know why. I like animals and livestock, and so.
Oh man, I think we got it bad. Yeah, we got a bad connection on you, man. Can you move a little bit closer? I know you're outside because you're always outside.
Yeah.
Can you move a little bit closer to the Wi-Fi signal back towards the house?
Yeah, I'll give it a shot.
Because I don't know if it's just at my end, but it's probably doing the same for everybody. You know, you're allowed to go inside after you're done building fence. You don't have to stay outside unless your wife makes you stay out there.
No, my kids would just nonstop talk.
Oh, is that what it is?
Oh yeah. They don't understand quiet.
Yeah, man, I've had a lot of Zooms with Nicholas, and normally we got a pretty good signal. So, and I don't see any rain considering he's up in Oregon.
I'm in the desert.
Yeah. Up in the high desert, it sounds like, right?
We only get 13 inches. Yeah, we only get 13 inches a year.
Oh, man, 13 inches. I'm from Nevada. 13 inches is flood weather. No. So, hey, man, well, again, what got you into the ag industry? I mean, what made you want to start doing ag fencing opposed to just regular fencing?
Just like I was into livestock and stuff. I was managing a ranch and quit and needed to do something. And all the, like in the area that I was at the time, all the old guys had just quit. So there weren't any ag fencers around.
Yeah. So did you just kind of have to learn it on your own or and just kind of watch some videos?
Yeah, I learned it a lot on my own, and like Luke Gibson from Farm Fence Solutions, that was back before the Facebook groups, and I was talking to him a lot on Tornado Forum.
Tornado. I haven't heard of that. Yeah. What is that? Is that a Facebook group or just no? It's just a website.
It was a forum. Yeah, it was a forum for tornado wire.
Oh.
It's like a woven wire that he used to sell before COVID, and he started Merriweather, whatever it is. But
yeah, I think he's making his own wire there now, right?
Groups. Yeah, he's got his own wire now, but yeah, I haven't tried it.
What's your you got a favorite style that you like to build, or is there a style you build a lot of?
Well, I do a lot of like horse fencing, and I've been starting to do a lot of pipe fencing. I really like the pipe fencing. It's fun.
Yeah. What when we first met up, and there was a bunch of us kind of on there in the beginning. What made the industry on the ag side think that they needed a best practices kind of a guide? I mean, not necessarily laws and regulations on it, but standards. But I mean, a best practices guide. What made you guys think you needed that?
Well, you look at the fence out here, it's bad. Like cutting corners is the way they do it.
Is
I
it?
mean, I could actually, a little ways down my driveway, one of the neighbors hired a fence guy to come do a fence, and it's a treat.
Is it? It's just
It's
like
like it's upside down and hard stapled and loose. It's the ugliest thing. I think I should be able to sue just because I have to look at it every day.
just for the stress.
Yeah, I'm just like, oh.
Mental anguish.
Yeah, I built one for the first neighbor, and then the next neighbor hired someone else, and it's like night and day difference. It's like, oh.
I think we all live in that world, man. There's always that fence down the street from us that we almost want to send one of our trucks over just to rebuild, just so we don't have to look at it no more.
Yeah, just don't have to look at it. Yeah.
We had a truck at our neighbor's house across the street a couple years ago. The dog was barking too much, so we went over there and knocked on the door. And my wife's like, "You got to get over there. You got to get over there and tell them, call the cops." She's like, "No, man, we're just gonna have to go over there and build a fence, keep the dogs back a little bit further or something." And I ended up just going over and having them put a free gate in for the guy. So I think we all live in that world in the fence industry, you know. What do you think? You were just mentioning that fence down the street. What do you think some of the biggest mistakes in the ag industry are? Like just some of the biggest common mistakes that people make.
I would say the bracing and then the hard stapling. So like, cause ag industry, it's more about physics and less about like carpentry skills. Whereas like a lot of residential is a carpentry skill type thing. So they get the proportions wrong, and then they don't have a strong fence where they hard staple it and it twists and loses its tension. And I mean, most of the ag industry is 50 years behind. Like they haven't changed, but we have better wire now and better tools and everything else. We should probably be using them.
Yeah. I remember I was going to be like, man, what are some innovations? I mean, what are some innovations in your side of the industry with the ag industry that stand out, you know, that you can think of that since you started, it's, you know, what's innovated?
Well, we got the pounders. That's huge. And then like high tensile fence. It's just like a better fence that lasts longer, does a better job. Yeah, I don't know.
How were they tightening it before? I mean, without all this equipment, how were they getting it that tight back then?
Well, I don't think they were.
It was just all loose.
Like for barbed wire, you have like the goldenrod, which I know a lot of people still use that, but it's misery. It's just easier to use the better tools. And then that low carbon wire that is typical, you just got to retighten it all the time, like especially for barb.
Kind of like standard, like our barbed wire that we use. It actually loosens up over time, and we're always out there with pliers every couple of years, or sometimes even less, and just kind of like kinking it to try to tighten it up. That's probably, I guess they were doing a lot of that. So you see people always out there, they in the movies, cowboys out there putting the fence back up. You think it's a lot because of that?
Oh yeah, I have friends that do it every year. And out here, I mean, obviously it depends on where you are, but like I have a friend that manages a ranch is 150,000 acres.
Yeah.
So it's a few miles of barb.
Because I watched like all 6 seasons of Yellowstone. And it seems like they were always out there fixing the fences, you know? So yeah, I'm guessing. You know?
Yeah.
How strong can these ag fences be if every movie they're out there fixing them, you know?
Well, and especially range fence, a lot of them's old.
Yeah.
You know, I have fences on my property that are probably 100 years old that, you know, are slowly falling apart.
Yeah. Well, I've been watching a lot of the stuff now, you know, following a lot closer over the last couple of years, and there's a lot of New Zealand stuff. It looks like it looks like they kind of pioneered a lot of this stuff. Is that right?
Yeah, England and New Zealand, it's almost all my tools are from there. Like they've taken that industry serious.
Yeah.
Where, you know, a lot of, like, especially in the West, I can't talk about, you know, other areas of the country, but almost every ranch kid hits 18 and takes his dad's skid steer and tries to start a fence business.
Yeah. every fence company started with some guy with a wheelbarrow and a pair of post hole diggers out of the back of his truck or his car, right?
I mean, I started out of the back of my little Nissan, but
Well, how would a
But
guy? I
yeah,
mean, I see you guys all have a lot of big equipment. I mean, and this is not cheap equipment. I mean, you do you do standard residential fencing and even some of the commercial. You don't really need as much equipment. So how are these guys starting out? I mean, how is that why there's not as much competition? Because you need a lot of equipment. You got to have some funds behind you to start an ag fencing business.
well, I mean, yes and no. I started with like a cheap Home Depot auger and my little Nissan. I think it was 4 years before I got equipment. So you can do it. It kind of depends on your area and how big a jobs you're doing, and you don't make as much without the equipment. But
Yeah.
there's a shit ton of ag fencers out here, but unlike residential fence, a lot of these fences can take a while, 2-3 weeks. I've been on fences for months,
Yeah.
depending on how big they are.
I think I was seeing, maybe it was Justin Neri or somebody else was saying that the difference is you guys might have, one or two customers a month, sometimes two or three, and we're getting sometimes 3 or 4 customers a day. So it's, you're dealing with the same customer for a long time. So how you handle those relationships has got to be a little bit different.
Yeah, I assume so. I mean, I don't do a lot of residential, so.
Well, I mean,
But,
on the ag side, you guys got the customers for a lot longer than we do on the residential fence side.
yeah, but we're not usually like right in their backyard. I have clients that I've only met to sign the contract and pick up the last check. Other than that, I haven't seen them.
Oh, that's nice.
I'll be
Well, that's nice.
months.
Hey, let's bring it up. I know people are excited to see it. And I dropped the links. Actually, if you go to Facebook's My Fence Life page, I actually dropped another link of where they can click on and actually view the best practices guide. But this is what we were working on for a while, and I got it in a single page form rather than the actual kind of magazine that opens up. That way we could kind of go over it a little bit more. But this is the 2025 AG Fence Best Practices that we all came up with. And you can go to fenceworkers.org and find it as well. But nonetheless, we developed this because of what you guys needed. And we did focus pretty heavy on this beginning of it with the braces, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's the main part of the fence.
Yeah. And let's go through some of it, man. I mean, I think what was unique about this was you don't see 10-foot braces everywhere, do you?
No, a lot of people like try to stick to the 8 to save money, or I've seen a lot of people do 4 foot. Just cut an 8-footer in half and call it good.
So what made everybody, after all we had a lot of back and forth and a lot of meetings going over this, what made everybody kind of settle on, the team? And in the end of this, I'll kind of go over the team that that all came up with this. What made everybody kind of settle on 10 foot?
The angle of the brace wire. So if that angle of the brace wire is too steep, it puts uplift on your king post. Therefore, you start to lose your fence if it's tight.
And our king post, by the way, if everybody can't see it, that would be your post at either at the end of the fence line, right, or a corner.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
This is your bracing. So use and you guys all came up with 6-inch minimum diameter. And what was what were we coming up with these diameters for? Was it easy to find material wise, or is it just something everybody decided worked best over time?
It's easy to find material for, and it holds up. Like, I've even put in 5-inch posts. I did one for my sister-in-law, just trying to be quick about it. And then I had to replace it because that wire actually bent the post.
Oh. Yeah, so you can actually get a bow in the post? I mean,
yeah.
Are you sure it didn't come bowed already? And you guys just blame the wire?
No, I'm sure.
But then the queen post, if you got a king post, you got a queen somewhere, right? And the queen post is going to be the next post over. And I know I'm talking now from not in the ag industry side of it. So it's really interesting for us to see how much science you guys put in, how much engineering you guys put into this thing, right down to the angle of the braces and the the wire and everything. So we've got that 5-inch post, or the queen post, and of course, tell me about how they trim. What does trim and square and brace pin and all that stuff mean?
Let me look at this thing. I haven't looked at it for a little bit. I mean, the brace pin is you drill a hole and that's what holds that cross post in. I don't know what you're talking about with trim.
Well, I mean, we're gonna trim to square, so we cut it into square in the end, and then we shove it into the king and the queen post, and then you put a pin in it.
Yeah, to hold it. Yeah, to keep it there.
And then we put the high tensile, the brace wire on there, kind of pulls the whole thing together.
Well, yeah, and that's what's holding it back. That brace wire's against that post is holding your king post back.
Yeah.
The queen post is really just holding your vertical up.
And we kind of after all the meetings, we decided that brace this is for a typical 60 inch fence should be 26 to 40 inches, right?
Yeah, so up to 60 inches. Yeah.
So and then we got a 6-inch king post, queen post 5-inch, and then 4-inch on your line posts. You don't need any kind of brace in those line posts. You just pound them all down. Those only got to go down 24 inches.
Yeah, as a minimum. I mean, like a lot of this with brace is as a minimum because your soil could change. I mean, I know Jacob Mater has some posts that are like 8 feet in the ground because they were soft as all get out. And like I have places that they're too sandy, 2 feet wouldn't really keep them in, but then I have places that are rock and 2 feet will last.
Yeah. What do you do if you go down a foot and you hit a rock?
You drill it. So
you just pull the post back out and you just get a rock drill and drill it out and pound it and keep pounding it until it breaks through.
Yep.
So you don't stop.
I do a lot of that. Yeah, it's a lot of drilling.
So you're getting it down no matter what. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
So we've got the H brace, and would you say that's your most common?
The H post? I don't do a lot of H posts.
You don't? I do
mostly Rance braces.
So here's our Rance brace, and I thought this was interesting when we were all coming up with it. This is there was a lot more critical on the actual braces and stuff on this than it was on the H, right?
Yeah, I mean there's I guess a little bit more to it when you start.
And it looks like you're burying the brace in the ground, right? At the one end where the queen post is.
Yep.
And that doesn't cause anything. I mean, you guys aren't worried about that thing rotting away?
I mean, it's going to rot just as quick as any other part of the fence.
So we got same things.
The goal too is for that, under that underground is not at the surface; it's below the surface a little bit, so that you're not, because that rot happens in that first like inch or two. Anybody that's pulled out a post, you can see it like it's good, and then all of a sudden that last 2 inches it comes in, where it's been eaten away by the soil life.
And you pound everything's pounded. I know you said when you guys start off sometimes with an auger. So would this be dug and set in concrete if you didn't have the equipment to pound it?
Typically with ag, it's dug and set back in its own soil.
Okay. Oh, so you packed it. So you dig it out and then pack it.
Yeah, in at max 4-inch lifts.
Okay.
You pack it in there tight.
So not a lot of concrete. You guys don't use concrete really.
No. I mean, concrete just rots those posts quicker.
Going around. Okay. Let me see.
I know people will disagree, but concrete's an unnecessary expense where people are just being lazy.
Yeah. Lazy? You say concrete's lazy?
Well, I mean, most ag fencers, if they throw concrete in, they just throw the bag in and walk off.
Oh, they don't mix it. They just dump it in and let the ground kind of soak it up.
Yeah, because Are you really going to carry water out to the middle of nowhere?
Well, I mean, I do, but yeah, but I like to do everything the hard way and suffer, So then we got the same kind of scenario though. The bracing sizes don't change. The 6-inch. When you get in this style brace, you don't change it. You stick with a 6-inch king post, the 4-inch on the actual brace itself, and then 5-inch queen post, and then it doesn't change anything on the line post, obviously, right?
Yeah, and I mean, again, it's kind of dependent on your area. I don't use any 4-inch line posts in my area.
Yeah.
They'd break before I ever pounded them in. And the people that provide posts, there's not enough of a price difference to even matter. There's very few 4-inch posts around here, but other places they're pretty popular.
So and again, these are all minimums that we were coming up with, right? So if someone's in certain area, you can adjust for whatever the market has in your area. What would happen? So you were saying it would push up. So you're saying on the king post that if you go up above that 26 to 40 inches, because I mean, it seems like common sense would say the higher the better, right? So
it creates a pendulum.
Yeah.
Like if you have too much of an angle, I don't know, you can see my hands, it creates that pendulum, which gives it something to flip up over. So really, like, you're just trying to come up with a good, because like the lower it is, the stronger it is, with that uplift. But if you go too low on the post, then you have so much post above the brace that you're going to bend your post over.
Yeah.
So you're trying to find that like kind of happy medium where you have a good angle still, but you have enough, you're spaced here, so you don't have too much overhang, or that's not the word, but.
Because if you go too low, then it kind of defeats the purpose of putting it in the beginning. In the first place, you go too high, it's going to want to pop it up. So you got to find a sweet spot.
Yeah. So that sweet spot angle.
And that comes out of the angle and out of probably experience and time, right? I'm sure when you first started off, you put a few of those in the wrong spot, right?
Oh, I have some fences that I'm not super proud of.
You went over and spray painted over your own sign, make sure no one knew it was you.
I didn't do that one.
When you got company in town, you drive them around that street, so you don't go down that street and show it.
Well, luckily you can't see most of those fences from the road, anyways.
So we had the H brace, and I think you see those a lot in corners and ends. Then we had the Rance brace. You think that's one you do a lot?
Yeah. I think it was Luke that did a bunch of pull tests against different types of braces, and the Rance brace won out as the most secure. It's what they use a lot in England and New Zealand as well, and it doesn't have as much foot trapment because it doesn't have that twitch wire there. So I've pretty much converted over to that unless I have to match an existing fence. So
essentially, they both would do the same thing. You could build a fence with either one of these, and you're going to get a fence regardless. But there's not the advantage to this one. Everybody kind of determined would be a little bit stronger, a little bit more reliable.
It's a little bit stronger, yeah. You don't have to like wrap the twitch wire and all that.
And we don't have this wire here and the brace. So you think labor wise, this one would be a little bit easier to put in? Or is it about the same?
On wood, I don't know if it's easier because there is like a little bit of fitting you got to do to it. I don't know if we probably should have put a picture of it, but on wood, it's like tapered and it's in a hole that you chisel out.
Yeah.
Is how it's secured. Tendon mortise.
Yeah.
It's tendon mortised in or whatever. So it takes like a little bit of skill to learn to make it look good. Yeah. But not anything that anybody can learn to do it. It's not like crazy.
Nope. Now, what about a floating brace? I thought this was really cool. So you still have the twitch wire, right? And you've got the brace, but there's no queen post at all. So this is like a single dude right here. He's just the king's out there by himself.
Yeah, and they're pretty rare that you'd want to use one of those. That's like really rocky ground that you don't want to have to dig that second post for.
And that could be like and you can actually put that right on top of a rock or something. You find some hard soil if it was hard out there. But can you put that right on just some loose dirt or no?
No, it's got to be, a concrete block or a big rock. I mean, I've never installed one because, they're not the best choice. But they're the right answer in the right situation.
And we went back and forth a little bit on these. So definitely there's some science behind these as well. And I think that's what's great about you guys is you guys are really, and I think the whole industry as a whole, if you see it now, everybody's trying to make fences last longer and longer and longer. Well, hopefully we don't make them last so long that we all go out of business because there's no fences to build. But maybe we all got to find a happy medium too, right? We're gonna pass our companies off to all of our kids, and there's gonna be no fences left to build. You know?
Well, there'll always be people that want a different style.
Yeah. You know? Yeah, I don't think we're gonna run. People always ask me like, "How's the business?" I go, "Well, our business is based off of criminals, dogs, and children, and I don't expect any shortage of them anytime soon. So as long as there's criminals, dogs, and children, we got them companies." You know?
Yeah, ours. I mean, I have a client that I think I fix her fence 3 or 4 times a year because cars go through it.
Yeah. Let me see. And we've got some other stuff that we kind of went back into. So if anybody wants to check this out again, go to our Facebook page. Hopefully we can get Susan or something in the background to drop a link to our Facebook page in the comments for everybody to see. But go to My Fence Life's Facebook page, and you can actually click a link and actually blow this up and zoom in and zoom out what you want. You can take a look at some of these pictures. So on the floating brace, and each one of these has a little description and some images and stuff as well that was provided by the ag industry. Tiebacks. Tell me about a tieback. Looks like that's underground.
Yeah, it's typically underground, so you don't see it, and it's like a tight area that you couldn't put a brace, but you have like a turn post or something. Or I'll use it sometimes for gates. I think that picture, I think that's one of my fences, and I'm just tying it back to help support the gate so the gate doesn't sag over time, because the gate, came off at an angle instead of with the fence.
And would you bury that for safety for the livestock or something?
Yeah, safety and aesthetics.
Just so you don't see it?
Yeah.
And then a footed post. What do we got? What is that?
That's for if you have a lot of uplift on a post. So if you're going down into like a ditch or, a huge change of direction, like you come down, it goes down, and you go down, you'll put that post on the bottom, because otherwise that fence is constantly pulling up on the post.
Yep. And then we got some other stuff for everybody to check out, breast block and all that stuff that, and if anybody's got any questions on that, you can drop it and we'll try to get those things answered. But this is just the beginning of this Ag Fence Best Practices Guide. I know we're going to get some more pages added to this thing, and probably get this things printed out for the fence show as well, and get some over to, I think Ken Cove wanted some to put inside of their stores. And if anybody has a store or feed store that's watching and wants to get some copies of this, let us know. This is the first edition. Hopefully it gets better. And I think when everybody sees that we've all been working on it, maybe some more people are going to want to get involved and help. And because we didn't even get into some of the materials yet about, where to get materials and stuff like that. So hopefully we get some of the suppliers involved to give us some better suggestions on the materials and stuff as well.
Yeah. And a big part of it, like we try to keep it simple to bring people in. And part of it is also trying to educate the customer, because there's a lot of us that do really good fences, and it's hard to always be the one being like, no, my fence is better because of this. So now you have an organization backing you up that you can point them to and be like, well, look at this, and choose your contractor based on somebody that's actually following something of value.
Yeah, and that's a great point. Going back to these, you're gonna be able to download PDF copies of this. So when you're making a quote or a bid, you're gonna be able to say, this is how we do it. We do it per the Ag Fence Best Practices Guide, and that way when you're making a bid, maybe you've got a little bit of edge over somebody that's like, I don't even know what that is, right?
Yeah, because at least in my experience, a lot of my consumers don't know anything about fencing.
Yep.
And they don't want to really know a ton. But this is a simple, easy thing to do, and it helps you justify why you're a little bit more expensive too. I do cost a little bit more because I spend this extra time and money and materials and labor, and then so it does cost a little bit more, but it's a better fence. It's going to last longer. Here's somebody else backing up what I'm doing.
Yeah. And sometimes you're out there bidding, doing it right, and somebody's out there just bidding, getting it done. And you've got nothing to justify it really, other than just telling them you're doing it right. So hopefully you can reference something, even bring the book out with you and show them, hey, by the way, we build it the way it's supposed to be built, or the way you should build it with minimum standards. So that's kind of cool. I completely, that's one of the main reasons too, but going back to when I was asking, why do we need this? That's another reason we need it when we're talking to the customers. So then knots, man, I was just blown away on these knots. And I know I was lucky enough to I think I went out to Cox's thing, the East Coast Fence Rivalry, and then the East Coast Fence Forum or Fall Fence Forum. I went to both of those, and I was lucky enough to have Sloop teach me some of those knots, the handle thing, crank it back. And man, I was just baffled on how many different knots and different things you guys do with just that wire.
Oh yeah.
And they all mean something different. I know some are better looking, some aren't. Some are to tie it, some are for in the middle of the line, some are at the ends at the posts. So termination knot is probably one of your most popular ones, though, right?
Yeah, that's how we terminate everything.
Yeah.
You tie that knot around a metal post, wood post, whatever.
Yeah. And then speed knots, and we're gonna do some videos of these things and get those out there on My Fence Life as well, and then also through FWA to actually show people how to tie these things and get some of those videos, which would be kind of cool. So all the rest of the knots, I mean, do they all really have a different purpose, or just some look different?
Hold on, sorry, I pushed something. I gotta plug my phone in apparently. Yeah, they all have different things. Some of them do the same thing, they just might look a little different.
Yeah.
Or they might, sorry, my phone should not be dying, but it is. Apparently this takes a lot of battery power.
It does, the video. Yeah. And that's why, man, we normally get back and try to get someone somewhere stable. Otherwise I'd be in the same boat.
Yeah, there's nowhere stable out here.
I know sometimes when we're talking, we got like a great connection. Sometimes we don't.
Yeah, I'm usually driving everywhere.
That's why it's always hard to get an ag guy on the shows, because they're always in the middle of nowhere.
Well, yeah, and I live off grid. Like I'm in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. Hey, do you know, by any way, Aaron was asking, what's the history of these brace names? You may not know. I don't know. But I mean, it was a question somebody just.
Yeah, I don't know the history of it at all.
So I don't know, Aaron, but I will find out. I'm going to answer that because I'm curious about that too. I'll find out and answer that, Aaron, in the comments. And just to see. So we've got our standard knot, speed knot, reef knot. So you think the speed knot, reef knot, Tex Brown knot, and figure 8 knot, they all kind of do the same thing?
They do a similar thing. The speed knot and the Tex Brown and those two knots are done with wire that's already under tension. So those are done on your stretchers while it's already tensioned, whereas the figure 8 and the reef knot are done before you tension the wire.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so you tie those up and then you tighten it. That's just
then you tighten it, and squeezes it up.
Like if you're splicing wire or something.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. Exactly. And the other ones you would just do it while it's under tension. And then crimps. I don't know if we got a chance to actually see the crimps being used. And that would be if you didn't do a knot, you could use these instead of a knot.
Yeah. Yeah, and like most of the time, like if we're joining wire together, most of us will crimp it.
Man, why wouldn't you just do that, man? That seems like that'd be a lot easier than all those fancy knots.
Well, it would be really hard to crimp like for a termination.
Oh.
But then once you learn those knots, they're pretty quick on anything except for if you're joining wire. It's hard to join wire. I have a pin next to me where I did it, but it takes a lot of extra time.
Do they hold? I mean, can you put as much pull on them as much as you can, say a figure 8?
Yeah, the crimp actually has a better holding power because the figure 8 does decrease the strength of the wire a bit. I think it's like an 80% knot or something.
Yeah.
But you're still well below what the fence should take.
Yeah.
But that crimp is stronger than the wire is itself.
So we've got, we've got tons of different types of knots to show you guys, a little explanation about what it is. Pick your favorite one. Tell us. I'd like drop in the comments too if you got a favorite one that you use more. But other than that, man, here's some of the contributors. You can take a look at that. These are everybody. There was a lot of people involved in this thing. I know it changed a little bit over time, but there was definitely a lot of help from the ag industry, and we can't be any more grateful for that. If anybody's got any suggestions of what we need to add to this, I know we're planning on adding some of the materials and getting into a little bit more in depth on some of the installation processes. So we're gonna try to get a little bit more information in this thing. We definitely would love to help. Drop in the comments if you're in the ag industry and you want help, or do you know of any? I know Ken Cove does some, and I think I've seen a few other people doing training for ag industry. Any suggestions for somebody that wants to get into the ag industry on the ag fence side?
Just come to like probably the Facebook groups and start to connect with people. I know like Cox does some at his, and Luke does some at his fall forum thing. But other than that, I don't know about a whole lot of trainings out there.
Yeah. So we got to get, it sounds like we got to get some ag fence training going. So we'd love some help on that too. I'm not an expert in the ag fence by any means, but there's a lot of guys like you that are out there that are willing to help. And one thing I know about the ag fence guys and gals that are in it is you guys are willing to share your information. So if you want to get into the ag fence side of it and you're not doing it, it's probably on you because you didn't reach out to one of the guys and ask for help.
Yeah, there's so many people you can call and ask. It's unlimited. There's constantly somebody willing to help you.
Yeah. So we'll drop some information down there. I'm going to do a little bit of research and see who's doing education on it. If not, we do know there's a place up in Oregon where there's not a lot of competition that you can go. So
well, the area might have plenty of competition, but sure there's others.
No, Nicholas, thank you again for all your help. We're super excited to be working on this. Hopefully we can get a few more pages. Not hopefully, we're going to get a few more pages added to this thing. Again, drop in the comments what you guys would like to see, or if anybody wants to help. We're always looking for people to jump on board and jump on some of these meetings. And we'll put on this thing as well the link. I think we need to get back to our regular meetings. I know some of the holiday stuff's over, and I say that because, man, it seemed like the holidays went by quick. And then now it's time to get busy again.
Now it's like
summer. It's summer, it's like right? It's
72 today. I'm like dying.
I was in Indiana for the last couple of days, man, and it was only like 80 something. I don't know, 80, but it was humid, and I couldn't take it, man. I thought I was gonna throw up alongside the road or something, but I don't know how to do it. But then
we were still getting pretty hard freezes last week.
Yeah, were you?
Yeah, like the water troughs were still freezing over every night. Now I think, yeah, it was like 72 today, but
yeah, it's 80. Yeah, it's been in the 80s yet.
I haven't adjusted yet.
Yeah,
like it was 20 degrees most of the winter, and now all of a sudden,
yeah, you're searching for water. It's just searching like a horse searking for water, right? Just
yeah,
right.
Yeah,
chewing on your salt tablets. Yeah. Well, hey, Nicholas, thanks again. I appreciate it. And we'll be in touch. Everybody stay tuned for the next revision of the AG Fence Best Practices Guide. We'll talk to you guys later. Thanks.